recently we had like a very high profile thing where two guys who are successful that don't have to be in the mix in terms of street shit, Lil Durk and FYB J Mane, they got on the phone and they actually like were discussing pushing peace in Chicago. And like at first you see a ton of positivity about it, and then as a little bit of time goes by, you start to see more and more people popping up talking shit to the person in this conversation who seems more like they're the one who took the L.
There's
like,
no peace with Lil Durk, I don't think.
Well,
I'm sorry, I follow that stuff.
Okay, but this is the thing. Lil Durk, it's easier for him to say pushing peace and that it's all good because they're perceived as being the ones who killed more of the other side than vice versa. You know, so it's like, it's kind of like he could maintain his rep and say it, but you see a lot of people popping out who want to shit on J Mane for being open to this. But that's what I keep saying is like, if there's ever going to be anything resembling peace, even just between these two sides, there's going to have to be one side that kind of makes it clear, like, look, we might not necessarily be winning this situation, but we're still going to take a step back and say, okay, like we're going to try to be part of the solution.
You're on TikTok, I'm sure, right?
For sure.
I think Lil Durk put up a picture of him and all his friends. He's the only one alive.
Yeah.
Out of the picture, there was 9 of them. He's the only one alive. They were all 20-some years old.
Yeah. It's
okay?
Yeah.
Put your head up, you know what I mean?
Like I don't really follow a lot of that stuff, but like you're saying, this Little Durk, he's he's killed people and had people killed and all that, right?
I wouldn't say that, but he's definitely rapped about all that shit so much, and he's been associated with a lot of people who are like verified
his best
killers.
friend was King Von.
Right,
exactly.
I mean,
The guy was smoking everybody.
And how long is he going to last for then?
Well, but he's a superssuperstar. He's huge. Millions of dollars. He's able to have the security around him, etc.
That's even worse. That's even more. You don't think John Gotti was worth, hundreds of, $100 million?
$500 million.
I mean, they still went after him.
Yeah.
But the difference with him is that he's at least could be completely clean of anything street related at this point. He could just make music.
But like you said, if he's dropping those bodies,
murders,
told somebody to do them back then, somebody had to commit the murders.
I wouldn't say that nobody talks about him as if he was the one actually killing people, you know? So it's like, it's more like he's probably the voice box of that. Although, who knows what happened back in the day, you know? But it does seem like in Chicago, like if someone was a killer, usually it's pretty out in the open. Their reputation usually precedes them.
Shit.
Yeah,
I think that's the worst gang state. I think
Chicago.
I would say Chicago or LA.
Yeah.
Well, New York's getting really bad right now too.
New York is insane.
Yeah, New York's getting really bad right now. Actually, the Bronx is like bad.
Exactly, and that's one thing I've heard academics say, which I found pretty interesting over the years, is that the government allowed Chicago to become this fucking war zone, but when you start talking about New York City, this is just a place where so much important business and so much of the high life takes place that the cops, like, I mean, you know, just like we know, New York City cops have funding way beyond the wildest dreams of most states in America. Like, they're going to fucking take care of problems. They're way more aggressive with shutting shit down than almost any other state.
Right.
So, like, there's a
We're
belief.
the trendsetters.
Yeah, well, there's a belief that, like, the drill scene will never be able to, like, fully prosper in New York because they won't allow this kind of stuff. Well, I mean, it'll probably prosper just with less murder and more people getting locked up earlier on. The other rapper just got killed. What's his name? Paul. They were just talking about it. He was talking about more people getting killed all the time. They just killed him 2 days ago. Fulio. Yeah, from Florida. Yeah. Another rapper just got killed. You know, it's what goes on. You know what I mean? So, you know, they talk about it in their music. The feds are listening. Right. They use it in court cases. You know what I mean? Right. So, you know, it's only a matter of time. Do you feel like you're somebody who was kind of influenced by the way that, you know, street gangs are doing stuff? Because there's a Rio the Young OG lyric that kind of reminds me of you. He said they started shooting up houses. They took the fun out of it.
I shot a house before. I have done that.
A lot of times you said you put like 90 rounds into a fucking
30.
house.
I did. I put 30 rounds into a house. But you know what? I got in big trouble for that. But I mean, I was sent to get him and I couldn't get him. But yeah, I was told that I dressed like a rapper. And they didn't like that, my people.
Right now I can see that, yeah.
Yes, they told me. They says, you know, what the fuck? You dress like a rapper. I had a different swag. You know, the modern day guys, we kind of like, he wears suits, his era. Our era didn't wear suits. We were more like the all proud, you know, like all the fashion. So we kind of related with the rappers more because that was our era. You know, I talk with a strong accent. I still dressed a little different. You know what I mean? Right. So, you know.
But something like shooting up a house is like kind of like a more modern invention, right?
Well, they tried to kill me on the highway. They shot my friend through her neck. He went to Italy hiding from me. I tried to lure him back from Italy, and I sprayed his house up with a Tech 9. That's how I got him, you know. Told me you don't want to come back? All right. We're going to shoot your house up every week then.
Is that something you ended up having to confess to?
Yeah.
Or in the proffer agreement,
yeah,
right?
Because you know what happened was They says he did a gang. I'm not gonna say what they said. He did a gang member move. You do a gang member move.
Yeah, well, I heard you say that in another interview. I'm not going to say it.
I can't say
Is it N-word thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So they says you did that work. You did that move.
Right.
You go do that move. And I says, all right. They says go bring him back. He wants to shoot. My friend was an innocent person. He wasn't a gangster.
Right.
Shot to his fucking throat. My other friend got shot in his back. They were trying to kill me on a highway. They shot into a car, 8 bullets. You don't do that. You wait for the guy to get out his house, or move on him the right way.
And that's probably what you wish we did.
You don't do that. You fucking shot my innocent friend to the fucking throat. Now is no holds bars. I went to the people. They says do what the fuck you want, and that's how we got him back. I threw a half a stick of dynamite in his brother's trunk when his brother in the car.
Wow.
You know, pineapple? There's M80 Blockbuster pineapple. I threw a half a stick of dynamite in his pickup truck with him in it because there was no holds bar because you did grimy shit. So they says go. Bring him back from Italy.
Wow.
That's what happened.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I was only 20 years old, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was a kid.
And do you feel like if you had made it through that period of time in your late teens or early 20s that you would have maybe like cooled off without having to necessarily go sit down?
No.
It was just in you?
Yeah.
You think you were just born to be that kind of guy?
I was bad because, I didn't come from a bad family.
Right.
I didn't need. I wanted. You know what I mean? I didn't need. I had everything I wanted. I wanted more. I was just a bad kid in school. I would stab kids with pencils, hit them with chairs. It was just a bad kid. There's just nothing I could do. My dad was like that. It's just it's almost in like your DNA. Like, this kid's just going to be bad. You know what I mean? So, and the mafia took all, they seen me, I'm 18 years old, stabbing kids, doing things. So, you get, like you said, you get noticed. And this kid's a fucking wild kid. Have him collect money for us.
It's a wild business to be in, though, because me seeing somebody who's got
think about
a
this,
willingness to do that much violence, I'm also looking at them like they're so hot-headed. Why the fuck would I trust them?
They love that. But let me ask you a question for this. Ready? A 19-year-old kid, 20-year-old kid making $3,000 a week.
Right.
Think about that. I have no education. I have a 9th grade education.
You're feeling yourself.
I have no education. My brothers who went to college and all this stuff ain't making no money.
When you're that age, you think that you know everything, and if you're making $3,000 a week, then you're thinking, well, I'm making more money than my teachers, my parents, etc.
Then I'm making $10,000 a week.
Yeah.
I'm making $40,000 a month as a 26-year-old kid.
Right.
Think about that. I'm making sometimes $40,000, $50,000 a month doing nothing.
And your bosses are all murderers.
All murderers.
So it's not like
it's like I'm the man. People look at us like celebrities. You understand that where we're from? Literally, they're like, oh, he's with that guy, that crew. They're like gods. You know what I mean? So it's like you start thinking you're above the world.